Right now, I have to stop saying.
It's a great way to know we are on the air. Yes, that's right. It's time for the pregame show on a Sunday of Stars and Blackhawks here in Dallas on DLLS. Let's get it going.
I don't know that. I know what you're talking about.
You're familiar with it. That's wild. This is the DLLS Stars pregame show. I learned something just now. You never know what Luds will know and not know about movies in the last 20 years.
Let's be clear, there's more I don't know than I do know.
Fair. But if we get back to your playing days, you know a lot more of the movies and TV shows back then. Yeah. I feel like you had more, you were watching that more then. Because you know references from the 80s or 90s or whatever. Well, that's very current.
Did you say Below Deck?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I like that is current. This is the DLLS Stars pregame show.
I can't understand some of them guys, though, when they're over there in England or Europe, or I can't understand that language.
You have to use the captions?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. A lot of people do that with those language barriers. All right. We're going to start Stars and Blackhawks today with saying hello to Sam Nestler. But before we do, don't forget that it is St. Patrick's Day coming up here in a week. Not even 10 days anymore. I think it's 9 days away. And we have special all-city St. Patrick's Day shirts available for sale on our site. Go to alldls.com, including the one that our very own Craig Ludwig is wearing right now. There he is. And there's Sam. Sam Nestler joins us from American Airlines Center alongside Craig Ludwig. Ryan Vodder's our producer, and of course, I'm Owen Newkirk. Sam, before we get to the details, it might be low, but Luds wants you to hear this.
Watch him in World Juniors. He's a big man. He skates well for a big man. Anytime you can add big trees like this to your back end.
Plural. Big trees.
Oh, my God. Not all of us are trying to claim a nickname when we post something on social media there, boys. You have too much free time on your hand.
We definitely. So in case you're wondering why we're giving it to Sam, is because Sam tweeted out some great information about the lineup after speaking with Glenn Gulletson. We'll hear all about that from Sam, including this is what he wrote. We will see the, quote, big tree pairing of Bichel and Myers. And so I, of course, said, I don't know if we like that one. It should be at least big trees because there's two of them.
What? But like, there's like the big three. Do you want me to say like the big threes?
No, three makes no sense. There's only two of them. Yes.
You should have just made it plural. Now, I had a minor at the University of North Dakota in English. So I just want you to know that plural is trees. Not the big tree.
That's not what, it's the name. That's like saying, oh, the Sam blank. It's the name. It's not the adjective.
The name of what?
It's not an adjective,
yeah. What does he mean, the name? Are you saying the name of the pair?
You guys are idiots.
The nickname.
You guys are idiots. It's the nickname. Like this line is called the big tree, period. They're both
that would be trees. No, now you sound like Carbo. You sound like Carbo. Carbo was trying to say three all the time. He said a big tree. No, it's not a tree, Carbo. It's three.
Oh, that's amazing. I am so happy right now. All right, Sam, shake it off and tell us everything you know about.
That one I don't even have to worry about. You guys are idiots.
Tyler Myers and Michael Bunting are going to play today. Talk about what you've heard as far as how they're going to be used and who they're going to play with.
Yeah, so first thing, they're both make their debut. There was some thought about them playing on Friday, but Myers obviously trying to get adjusted. The big thing for Myers is he played a lot of man-on-man in Vancouver before. The previous coach, I think it was Rick Tocchet, they played a little more Dallas style. But right now, under Adam Foote, they're playing a very man-on-man, Lud's favorite kind of defensive style. So this is a little bit of a shift in terms of systems. So I think just getting him in here, letting him practice skate with them on Friday, and then watch a game from up top on Friday was a good way to do it. turned out to be the right move because the game was super intense, a lot of emotion. Would have been a tough challenge for either of the new guys to jump in. Bunting, I think, got up at 4 a.m. to fly here after the trade on Friday morning, so that would have been a really tough challenge for him emotionally and mentally. But I think they make their debut today, and the key Glenn Gulleson talked about is while we're going to use them just like other players, we also understand we can ease them in. We have a lot of chemistry going on, a lot of players playing well. We don't need to throw them in and say, hey, Myers, we all of a sudden need you to play 28 minutes tonight. So they're going to start him on the third pairing. We're all calling it the big tree pairing here at DLLS. It's with Lee and Bischel.
Not we all are. You are.
It was a joke, lads.
Not a very good one, apparently.
Not a good one at all. He tried.
But they're going to start with Lee, and so it's going to be the big boys on the back end there on the third pairing. Harley will stay with Lundqvist. Essa Lindell will stay with Mira Haskin, and the top three had the day off yesterday. And then Bunting is actually going to slot in on the left side of the third line with Rich Kovian and Adam Ernie. So interestingly enough, even though they are keeping they called up Arttu Hyry, who scored 2 goals last night, I think in like a 37-second span in Chicago for the Texas Stars. They called him up, but he's actually going to be the scratch. He's just the insurance. They really like him, guys. Glenn Gulleson has been really upfront and honest about the fact that he was very close to making the team out of camp. They just didn't have the spots because of who they had already kind of included with the Adam Ernie signing, especially. But now they've had their eye on him every step of the way. And now that they have some injuries, he's up here, and it very well could see him up here for the rest of the season, not just to hang around and be an extra, but Glenn Gulleson said he's expecting him to play and be a big part of it. So it'll be cool to see. I think those lines are going to be fun because Ritzkovi and Ernie is already a pretty feisty line, and I think Michael Bunting's going to be out here to prove something tonight.
I think so too. Goalie news tonight, who's starting today against the Blackhawks, and Hyry was recalled. Is he going to play?
No, so yeah, Hyry's not going to play today, but the Casey DeSmith's going to start. I thought that would be a good start for Casey, not only just because it's Chicago, but just the way it's lining up. There's a lot of good teams that are coming in this building, and that they're going to have to play on the road coming up. I know that there's some argument right now who is not the better goalie overall, but who's playing better hockey right now in terms of the goalies. But just keep Casey rolling, get him a game here. The interesting part to watch tonight for me will be, is there an emotional letdown of any kind? I asked Gulleson kind of how he felt, how the group was feeling after the deadline, because they didn't lose anybody, right? So that takes a huge amount of the stress and emotion out of it when you don't lose Logan Stankoven and all of a sudden you're asked to start playing your games again. But they did add some new players. It was an emotional day for them trying to see who's in, who's out. And then they played their best and most emotional, intense game on Friday night against Colorado. So it was a lot to handle. He said they just let him kind of skate it out yesterday, and the group feels great. And he actually said he went into the room right after the deadline, and he said, our goal as a staff was to not lose a single one of you guys. We want to make sure this group in here deserves the chance to go try to win a Stanley Cup, and we brought in a little bit of help, and that's about it. So it'll be interesting to see, though, with a Chicago team, Sunday, 5 o'clock, a little sleepier. It's got I'm not going to call it a trap game because this team's more mature than that at this point, but it will be interesting to see if they're able to start on time because it was so much of an intense drain on Friday night.
See, I would have thought if Ritzkovian scored that empty net goal and they win 5-3 instead of losing 5-4 in a shootout Friday against Colorado, I'd be a little bit more concerned about a possible trap game. I think they're going to be kind of PO'd about that. And also, to Sam's point, they've started to kind of figure out the way they have to play, and the way they're playing should not be leading to sleepy starts.
Yeah, and I was thinking of this on the drive in, and I'm glad you brought it up, Sam, because I don't think there's going to be a letdown at all, especially because number 24 is out, 96 is out, and you've got a couple new guys in there. The new guys are going to be all revved up. And this is more of a blue-collar team. This isn't – I think when you get all of the bullets in the gun and you play this team here that they've got the second worst, differential, goal difference. I think they're like a minus 35. The only one worse than that is actually Vancouver, which is really bad, double that.
Really
but I think if you do have all of your bullets in the gun, I think there's a tendency to go, okay, we don't even know some of the names on this roster now, and then you kind of want to do this, and you think it's going to be cookie night and everything else. So I think the injection of more blue collar guys that might not be in the lineup here in another week or two or whatever it may be, it's their opportunity to prove this is what we do and this is how it is. So I just think it's more of a straight ahead kind of game for the Stars.
Sam, this is actually a question from yesterday, but we didn't have a show yesterday. So Roope Hintz, goes down late second period against Colorado on Friday. What's his latest that you've heard?
Yeah, I don't even know. It's not good news, but I don't know how bad you want to call it because of how it looked. We weren't expecting this to be he's going to miss a day or two. He's going to be out weeks, closer to the Radek Faksa type of situation. They did say very hopeful, as Luds knows, he loves the word hopeful. Very hopeful that Roope is back before the end of the regular season. But right now, he was getting some more visits to the doctor yesterday. Had some more opinions. It sounds like it's absolutely going to be at least a few weeks. I would expect him to be right there with Radek Faksa. And as far as we know, Mikko Rantanen, because as of right now, the way I'm looking at it is this team has 3 players who are probably coming back somewhere around the end of the regular season, if not start of the playoffs. And I don't think we should get our hopes up too much about any of them coming back earlier than that.
Yeah, those are your deadline deals. You know what I mean? That really is a tread down. When you get these kind of guys back in the lineup, the one thing I will say about what Sam just brought up about, hey, we're going to get another opinion, or we're going to see, I think I heard it, going to see a different or another doctor.
Yes.
I never liked that because in my past, whenever that was said, they didn't like the first diagnosis. Like we don't like what we heard. So let's go see if we can get a different opinion. And generally, that's a little bit higher up the totem pole, so to speak. And it may be someone that says you could do this and get them back a little sooner. So hopefully it's better news.
That's what I kind of had the feeling as well. All right, Sam, great reporting. Keep working and workshopping on a nickname. There's got to be something
plural. There's 2 of them
between the Swiss mountains, mountain climbing, Swiss chocolate, the chaos giraffe, big Tex. They got to find a way to merge those 2 together.
I got a good one for you guys. What about Big Tree? See you later.
Terrible. And he's supposed to be the writer on our show.
Terrible. That's
just terrible, Charles. What do you think about the 2 guys making their debuts with Myers and Bunting? Is that going to help?
I like the introduction today, the opponent, everything else.
You think it was good to not play him on Friday against Colorado?
Yes. Well, again, you know that you've got a team, and for Myers especially, I mean, he hasn't played in a month, over a month.
Great point. Yep.
So, and then Bunting, yes, he's been in it. But I just think when you're getting integrated in a new team, you don't know everybody, it's better to play an opponent that isn't the best team in the league. You know what I mean? I don't think you want to play a game, and this could easily happen. Well, not easily happen. If it does, it'll be a crime. But you don't want to step into a game and not know basically who you're playing with. You may know them by name, but you don't know who they are and things like that. You haven't any reps with them and come out of the game -4 or -2 or -3. It's just it's mentally draining, where I think you've got an opponent today, they can play 80-85% of their game and still have a win today, because I do think that this is going to be more of a blue-collar approach from this particular group, because they're talking about it, saying, listen, I don't know where he's going to be. I don't know. We're playing straight ahead. We're putting pucks in. We're going to the net, and then we'll make it a little bit more uncomfortable for our opponent.
All right, let's take a look at the lineup first for the Stars. Forwards, Michael Bunting, as we were talking about, playing on a line with Justin Ritzkovian and Adam Ernie. Luds, I know we talked about having Bunting play when you get Rantanen, maybe Hintz back, playing as a complementary F1 piece with some of those guys. I'll tell you what, that is a really hard to play against trio.
What movie was it where they said Buzz the Tower?
Oh, that's
Who
Top
was that?
Gun.
Maverick and
Goose.
This is a Buzz the Tower line.
That is a Buzz the Tower line.
I just think this is a buzzing line
right now
out there that they are going to play in straight lines, and they're going to be in your face the whole game. Ideally, Bunting gets him into the game quick and draws a penalty, because he's pretty good at that. So that's what I look forward to seeing that. And the other thing I'm going to look forward to is Beck playing in the middle of the ice. Yeah, we've seen him a couple times, but we really see him on the wall. And when he plays a wing, he stays on the wall. He's up and down. So I want to see how he does today.
One of the things, Oscar Beck does not bring a ton of offense. We know that, but he's a great penalty killer. And I think that the thing that stands out to me the most when watching him play as a winger is he wins a lot more board battles than he loses, especially when trying to get the puck out of the defensive zone. Many times when it gets to Beck, he gets the puck out, which I think is job one for him. As the center, that's not necessarily the same area he's going to be.
No, he's got to generally, in these systems, is you got to work low in the zone with your defenseman. So your wingers stay on the wall. You kind of, and it's not just one thing. So you have to be available for an outlet pass. You have to be able to cover up for this guy or that guy. Your wingers stay on the wall. So, but I do think that now they can interchange positions a little bit. But again, a big body, long reach. His stick gets there, very similar to the pair of the tree. That pair. that singular tree.
We got a new
apparently.
T-shirt. Look
Yeah.
at the two trees.
Tree with a big question mark. With 6'8" and 6'7".
6'7", 6'8", big tree question mark.
All right.
That might be our post game thumbnail. That might be the caption right there.
Yeah,
Big
There you
tree.
go, big tree.
Well, let's take a look at the defense,
Big
lads.
tree means carbo. He would say that.
He
That
would say
means
it,
you mean
the
the big
big tree.
three. He'd say tree.
Do you like this as your first offering of
Yeah.
Tyler Myers with the Dallas Stars?
Yeah, and again, I think this is an opportunity to see what Myers is and how he does and how he gets involved. But ideally, should be a pair that I would hope that, and we know Myers can kill penalties, and I think they're trying to get Leon as close as they can. I just think that would be a great duo to be out there on the PK and things like that. And also, and again, sometimes it gives Miro a little bit more rest if you're able to, because we know S is going to be out there a lot. So it just seems all right. But again, I think that if they are physically just punish people and in faces, it should be difficult to get into the higher danger areas to get chances because just their reach alone. If they play a game where it's stick on puck and they use that long reach, man, it could be tough.
What about the adjusting to the different systems? I know you've said since we talked about Tyler Myers even being possible as a trade target that you thought he would do better in Glenn Gulletson and Alain Nasruddine's system than playing more of that Adam Foote man-on-man stuff that they're doing in Vancouver or whatever you want to call their attempted defense. Is it going to take, like we saw a lot of Stars players, a little bit of time for him to adjust to the change in that system?
I don't think it does, but I've never played in a man-on-man system, so I guess we're used to the other thing. This is just more about sitting in your chair and waiting for things to come to you versus grabbing a guy and trying to navigate through traffic, especially teams that want to interchange and they crisscross and things like that. And I think for a big guy that's 6'5", 6'7", 6'8", especially, trying to keep up with some smaller players on man, you're going to get tangled up in them little crisscrosses, and it's just harder to play. Here, you just you sit and things come to you, and you kind of check off, you communicate with your partner, and then you see for defensemen, because we're always looking up ice, we pretty much see everything. So you should be communicating to your wingers who are looking back, where's the puck on the wall and things like that. You got him. There's, the more you talk, the more you communicate, it's like another set of eyes out there.
Well, aside from us laughing about Big Tree, because that was
When there's two
objectively
players.
ridiculous, is that Sam's response to
he's
me
not gonna let
chirping
this go.
was, no, because he then went at us afterwards. He chirped back saying, that was Jim Nill saying it. It wasn't me making a nickname.
Wait a second. You got to play. Jim Nill had a plural on there, though,
which
didn't
we
he?
played in the audio.
Yeah, but
right?
he can't hear either.
He couldn't hear it either.
Yeah.
But we maybe have to clip it. Sam literally replied, LOL, it wasn't me making a nickname for them. That's what Jim Nill said. And Luds goes,
It would
there's
be
an
nice.
S in there.
Can everybody else hear what we play when you? Oh, you wouldn't clip Jim's thing.
We
I want
could.
everybody on here to say, Sam. Jim Nill said trees.
I think they could hear.
Okay, well then you guys can all tweet. Trust us. He said trees.
Yeah. All right. Up
Owen
next-
says, or Owen. Ryan said, this is enough of this.
Yeah,
Wrap this up.
Move it along. More DLS Stars pregame show in a moment here after Luds talks about some merch.
And it's a lazy wrap it up. It's like, oh my God, it's just slow. Normally it's one of these things. Let's go.
It's
Anyway,
like beaten down. wrap
okay,
it
so
up.
St. Patty's Day, the shirts. Luds has got one of the shirt. Where's that? The bottom left one? No, yeah, I think that's where it is. Anyway, there's a whole ton of them. I'm looking forward to the little guy with the, I don't know what he's balancing a yellow ball up there. If
looks
that's
like
a
the
beer or
sun,
whatever it is.
Luds. It's day drinking.
Well, I think it's supposed to be maybe a mug of beer. I would hope that's
he's
what it is.
sitting in the beer.
But anyway, we got to get Wyatt Johnston back on the PP train. How many is he shy now on? 2?
1 to tie, 2
So he's
to
2,
break the record.
Yeah, so we got to pull up the 16-bit shirt. We need to get Wyatt back on the PP. This would be a good opportunity. I think he'll get some chances if Dallas can draw, 2 or 3 power plays. They will get that taken care of. And then we didn't do the hat collection. We need to do the hat collection again because in honor of Sam and the Cadillac hat over there on the top left, and then our white DLLS one is the best.
All right, Luds, thanks very much. Let's talk about the Supporters Club on YouTube. It's a little bit extra, right? We're not talking about Die Hard, which is a big deal and huge support. This is just a little bit more. Now, Luds always talks about Gully's 1% or 1 degree, whichever unit of measure he does. This is that little 1% more. It's getting in the chat on our live show, like Tony Go Stars right now with the SC badge, suggesting in our chat that they should call them the Wrecking Crew. Maybe that's it. Or another suggestion of Victory Tree Green, the Forests, the BFGs, big effing guys. We're working on it. Keep going. But you can also use those emojis if you're part of the supporters club. It stands out. We notice you when you use Luds' face, the Stanley Cone, and on and on. It is true sicko level stuff. And as we always say, there is special content videos that you can only watch if you are a supporters club member. So check those out as well. At least one of them is pretty entertaining.
Are there any big buildings downtown? Office buildings? You know, like the Sears buildings?
Oh, yeah,
and
there's
stuff
some
like
big
there are
towers.
a pair of big buildings that got a name on them downtown. Well, don't jump out and throw me one. I mean, you gotta think on that. Okay. Anyway, we need towers. We need it plural. The green buildings.
Buildings. Okay. Lots. We're having fun this afternoon. Luds, the Stars had a franchise record 10-game winning streak snapped, but they did get a point against Colorado on Friday. So they are at an 11-game point streak, which is 4 games shy of the franchise record. And we have brought this up before, but it's been a while. 15-game point streak is the all-time Dallas Stars, Minnesota North Stars franchise record. And look who it is. The 98-99 Dallas Stars, your championship winning team, has the record. Now, the Stars of active, not that far away, only need 4 more games, but they have a really tough schedule over the next bit. Chicago's a bit of a respite because after that, it's a bunch of playoff teams. Even though they're all at home, they've got, I think it's like 6 of the next 8 or 8 of the next 10 are all against playoff teams.
Yeah, point streaks are for exactly what it is. Put it on the board and show it to them. I think that their objective from here to the game 83 is to just have their game in order when they get there, and obviously have healthy bodies back in there too. But I think that Glenn Gullickson and his coaching staff are very happy with the progress that this team has made in all different areas, and so. From goaltending, both of them, and goaltending to the D, and we'll see what happens with the addition of Myers here. It may even get better. I mean, we're talking about a team that doesn't give up a lot of quality scoring chances. It may be getting better in that neighborhood too. So the point streaks and all that stuff are great. And all of those point streaks and guys that have 52, 55 goals at the end of the year, they're all gone. Game 83, you start all over. Everybody's even, no more plus minus. You're zeros across the board. So, it's a confidence thing for sure. And I think it's more important about how you continued that streak. Like, how did you win games? Did you come back in a bunch of them? Were you able to just shut teams down, take it away from them? You get that late goal, 5-6 minutes to go in a period, and then the opponent never gets a sniff. Those are all quality things that you're looking for heading into the playoffs.
You want to hear about the opposite kind of a streak? Let's look at.
Are we talking about the team, that the opponent?
We are.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk a little history of the Chicago Blackhawks season. They actually got off to a really good start.
Oh, that sums it up right there.
Look, the face of Jeff Blashill. They were in a playoff spot at the 19 games into the season mark. They had 24 points. They were in the first wild card spot, and we all said, "Wow, I don't know if it'll last, but it's starting to go." Well, then the next 17 games, they won 3, and they plummeted all the way to they needed that holiday break for Christmas more than anybody because they were a dreadful 235 point percentage during that segment. Then they played the Dallas Stars twice and beat them twice right after the holiday break as part of a 9-game run that got them back to 500. They were 19-7 on January 10th and only 3 points out of a playoff spot. And then they went nosediving off the cliff again. 4 wins in their last 17, which is a 324 point percentage. And they are now 11 points out of the second wild card. They were sellers at the deadline. We'll talk about that in a minute. But Luds, there were moments where this team looked like they might be a problem. And those 2, how many times have we said on our show, it's not how many wins in a row, it's how many losses in a row that really affect your season. Get out of the ditch as quickly as you can. Well, they had 2 massive tenures in the ditch, and that has cost them a chance at a playoff.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you look at Chicago and these kind of teams, and you say they can be a problem, they can be a problem if you allow them to be a problem. Mm-hmm. So, and again, that I don't think that this particular lineup today is going to allow that to happen. I just don't believe it. So, But you have to be aware. I mean, you got guys like Bedard over there. We know what he can do, and he can kind of make you look like a fool. And again, when we talk about the twin or the pair of tree, that pair, Bedard can actually give them a problem. Being as small as he is, he can kind of get in and out between their reach and when defensemen especially have this long reach and they use their long sticks, what Bedard is very, very good at is he pulls the puck into his feet and he shoots between your feet and your stick. And it causes a bit of a screen for a goaltender. So that'll be interesting to see how Bedard does today. But this is a team, this is an opponent today that, if you just play your game, you'll be fine.
I want to keep talking about the Blackhawks stuff, but our chat is going crazy with trying to come up with a nickname for
There
Myers.
you go. Perfect.
So we have the Thriller Pillars. We have the Smash Brothers. We have the Twin Towers, because apparently a group of giraffes is called a tower. I did not know that. I really like Man U fans. I don't like Man U at all, but I like Man U fans' suggestion of the Jolly Green Giants. That's kind of fun.
That'd be appropriate for St. Patty's Day.
And for the Dallas Stars wearing victory green, right? So they're working on it, right? And
again, the Jolly Green Giant, or are you saying Giants?
Plural.
Yeah,
Unlike
we're
Sam, I know
stealing things. Come up with something new. People.
you want something different.
Yeah.
I like the idea of Chaos Giraffes, except that he's already Chaos Giraffe. That's not Liam Bischel's nickname. So you got to find a way to merge.
He is?
That's what they call him in Vancouver. Tyler Myers is Chaos Giraffe.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not very manly.
No, it's kind of goofy. Yeah. Big Tex.
Well, they might have
I like that.
felt at times he played like a giraffe.
And Chaos.
On ice, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so we'll keep working on that. But the Chicago Blackhawks were active at the deadline the other way. How about the Smashing Green Giants, says Jordan? We're working on it.
Oh, start drinking, people. They'll get better.
Luds, they traded Connor Murphy to the Edmonton Oilers a few days before the deadline. Then Jason Dickinson also to the Oilers. Nick Foligno to the Minnesota Wild. That was more of a favor. All the deals, mostly for futures, but they did get Andrew Mangiapane back in that deal, which it was not working out with him in Edmonton. What do you think about what the Chicago Blackhawks did at the deadline, knowing that they are not going to be a playoff team?
I think everybody expected them to do that. I think the Dickinson move might be something that's needed in Edmonton. Dick can come in and he can play that third line center, so to speak. So that might pay off there. But for Chicago, it just seems like they've been rebuilding for so long. They say strip it down to the studs, but you're down to the dirt almost. So you feel bad.
Except for Connor Bedard.
And look at Mangiapane. I loved that player when he was in Calgary, especially. I thought he was a good, and I'm sure he still is a good player, but he goes to Edmonton and a deal in the summer that I thought was a great deal for them. That would be a guy that I would have liked here, I think. And anyway, and then it doesn't work out there, and now he ends up in Chicago. He's got to be going, it's got to get better at some point. Doesn't he have like a 5 or 6 year deal too? Mangiapane, I think, what did he sign in Edmonton when he went there? Because it was pretty good. It was only like $3.5 million a year. I have 4 or 5 years or something like that.
Yeah, no, he's got 2 years. So this year he had no trade, so he had to waive that, but he wanted a change.
Well, he wanted out.
He has one more year at $3.6 million. He has a 5-team trade list next year, which means 5 teams he would go to. So that's almost a no trade.
Yeah, no
Again,
kidding.
he has some control there. So that's what it's worth. Take a look at the lines. After moving Dickinson, after moving Foligno, gaining Mangiapane, slight adjustment. They didn't have a morning skate either, of course, because the 5 o'clock game. So the fourth line isn't quite right. Nick Lardis is going to play. This is just from the warm-up. We were guessing beforehand. So it's going to be Lardis along with Donato and Slaggert as the fourth line. Mangiapane will be on the left side of Moore and Mikheyev on the third line, and Bertuzzi is going to move up to play with Frank Nazar and Teravainen. Green, Bedard, and Burakovsky will stay the same. There are some good, talented players in this group, Luds, but as a collective, they have not been good.
Yeah, we just saw a picture of Bedard. He's got that kind of crazy look, like what the hell's going on here on that particular shot there. Nazar is another guy that I'm interested in seeing. There was a lot of hype around him. He got himself a pretty good deal as a young player, but I think there's a lot of promise there.
I don't mind Texas Towers. That could be something. There's something there. Keep working on it, guys. On the defensive side, the Blackhawks, again, yeah. What else do you say other than that? Spencer Knight has an illness, didn't make the trip in goal, so Soderblom is the expected starter today. Drew Comessa was called up to back up Soderblom.
Is that Pickles? That's not Pickles.
No.
Vlasic?
No.
San Jose
This is
Pickles?
Alec Vlasic, a little
okay.
younger, not Mark Edouard.
'Cause he's about 43 by now.
He is, yes. So Crevier, Kaiser, young players.
Yeah.
Levshunov scored a goal against the Stars on a power play in their last meeting, but yeah, they're a little thin as far as having a true number one up there. Interesting, though, the Stars have lost both games against Chicago this year. One in a shootout and then one in Chicago. This is their third and final meeting. Dallas had been really good against, of course, a rebuilding Chicago team over the last few years, but they have to win today or they will have gone a season without beating the Blackhawks for quite some time.
Yeah, and that's why I think today's game will be a little bit different, because I think when Dallas lost those games to them, I think they go out there expecting we're going to score 5-6 goals in a game, and you wait for your power play and you get a little fancy here and there, and they surprise you. So I think today may be a closer game, but I really think Dallas comes out on the right end. Especially they're going to see what happened between Colorado and Minnesota, obviously, and so they both picked up points today, and so they want to stay in that race today.
All right. Lastly, this is a sad note, but we think it's pretty important to bring up Troy Murray because we lost a great human being, also a great former professional hockey player and broadcaster, and your former teammate at North Dakota. Troy Murray was on our show last year in November of 2024 and came on and was great, hilarious, had us all laughing more than one occasion, told a couple of funny stories, including the picture that John Anderson, our first producer, was not the first guy to screw up that alumni photo that wasn't Troy Murray, but he was wearing the right number. And the part that I love the best was before we had him on, Luds said to us, Muzz doesn't really do these.
Yep.
But he said he would for you, and I think that speaks everything for him.
Yeah, he didn't want any of this out there. He just wanted to go through it on his own, and he fought right to the end. I just want to say, I was thinking about this the other day. When Muzzer came, I had played 1 year. We won our national championship in North Dakota my first year. Second year, Muzz came in. I believe he led the team in scoring. Second year, we win our championship again. He leaves to go to Chicago. He's drafted by Chicago. He goes there. And I'm driving back from North Dakota, and I'm just playing around the radio and stuff like that. And I pull it up, and there's a Chicago Blackhawk game. And within 10 minutes, he scores his first NHL goal. Yeah, I know. It was just weird. I mean, but it was appropriate. We all kind of thought, whatever. But anyway, the hockey world is going to miss him, and he has been a loyal Blackhawk, and they love him in Chicago.
A quick shout out to the Dallas Stars because they had a really nice gesture. They put a arrangement bouquet and a note in the visiting radio booth at American Airlines Center for Chicago today, where Troy Murray, if he was, of course, still with us, would have been working the game for Blackhawks radio. So great move by the Stars. Nice little classy touch there.
Won a Stanley Cup with Colorado Avalanche also.
So he has a cup. He has a national championship. All around great human being. Everybody's
I think he won a Calder. Did Muzz
he
win the Calder Rookie of the Year? He may have. I don't know. Anyway, well, somebody get on that.
All I know is that everybody that knew him seems to have nothing but amazingly nice things to say about him.
Yeah, he was superhuman being.
Sad, tragic, died too soon at age 63. Troy Murray, you will be missed. We will see you for the DLLS Stars post-game show after today's game between the Stars and the Blackhawks.
We all silly like the mayor.